Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly pick-a-card reading for Monday the 21st to Sunday the 27th of November, or for whenever you come across these messages, as the messages are timeless. Thank you so much again for joining me, and I hope that these messages resonate and they'll guide you in the week ahead. Okay everyone, we have pole number 1, pole number 2, pole number 3 and pole number 4. We have the red jasper for pole number 1. We have the snowflake obsidian for pole number 2. We have the citrine for pole number 3, and we have the amethyst for pole number 4. So I hope you can see those. Lovely. So as usual everyone, pick a pole that you feel drawn to. There'll be timestamps below. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So take a moment, pause the video if you need to. And if you're drawn to more than one pile, not a problem at all. I'm sure there'll be a message in each pile that you pick for you. Welcome pile number 1 to your weekly reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. So we have the 10 of Swords. We have the, oh actually, do you know, I've picked these up around the wrong way again. So we've got Answers Within. We've got Lose Yourself. We've got Giraffe Spirit. We have the the 9 of Wands and the Sun and the 10 of Swords. Okay. Okay, pole number 1. The first card you have is Lose Yourself, and it says lose yourself in creative pursuits that allow for freedom of thought, authentic self-expression, and the satisfaction of building something uniquely yours. I feel a real sense of joy in this. I find when we lose ourselves in something, pole number 1, we're in a place of joy. We're in a place of bliss. We're creating purely for self-expression. And when it comes from that place, what we create is generally of great value. And this lose yourself, I feel like Spirit's message for you, pole number 1, is to lose the self, like lose the ego, lose the, almost like lose the mind part of you. Embrace something much deeper inside of you. You know, it's like lose the part of yourself that get self-conscious, or that thinks you can't, that feels you should be putting your time towards work or chores or other things. This is lose your expectation, lose your need to do something in order to get something in return. And I'm wondering, pole number one, if in this creative pursuit there's some unfolding that's going to happen. Because there's a sense of building something here. Now, for some of you, it might just be building your confidence, building your self-esteem, building your self-value and your self-worth. For others, I think the building is more tangible. It's almost like turning a hobby into a business in some way. Now again, pole number one, these are general readings, so apply the energy as it fits into your life. But I really get that sense of losing yourself. I just keep getting lose yourself, not only in the pursuit like it says on the card, but lose the person that you think you have to be. You know, we place constraints on ourselves, don't we? We have to be this way or we have to be that way. And I'm almost feeling that in the card. There's a real joy and a sense of being lit up from the inside. And whatever you're doing, in some way, pole number one, I feel there's a moving forward. And then you have the giraffe spirit, and it says, see the big picture. And I feel like, see the big picture of life. You know, I'm kind of getting the message, the dishes will be there tomorrow. You know, the dust will be there tomorrow. And of course, we don't want to live in messy, unkept, unhygienic, unhealthy environments. That's not what I'm saying. But the message that I get from this, see the big picture, it's kind of like, see the big picture of life. Life is not all about duty. It's not all about the things on our to-do lists. I'm being asked to ask, can you see, pole number one, a bigger picture for your life? What do you see for your future ahead? I'm almost getting the sense here, pole number one, that there's an imbalance somewhere. And that can be in your give and take. That can be in your work and lifestyle, work and relaxation. That can be in, you know, having fun and doing your duty, doing what you need to do. You know, I just see to-do lists. I'm just seeing like lists and lists. So I'm not sure if a lot of you are writing to-do lists and you're just not even having time to do everything on them. And you've got these to-do lists that kind of are always in the background. You look at them and you think, oh, you've checked one thing off, and then you look and there's more, and there just always seems to be more. What's the big picture of your life? Do you feel that life at the moment is just a to-do list? I've just got to get to the end of this. I've just got to get to the weekend. I've just got to get to my next holidays. I almost feel, pole number one, that you kind of, yes, lose yourself in your hobbies and all that kind of thing, but I think that's kind of the out for you. Like that's the way to lose yourself from your everyday life. It's not often that we say, okay, we just need to detach, we need to unfocus, we need to just sort of step away from everything. Normally we're like, oh, we need to be aware of everything, we need to accept everything. But here I'm really getting the sense that you need to see the bigger picture of your life and detach from all those little details of our life that make up part of our life. But I feel they're weighing you down, pole number one. I just feel like there's burdens, but the burdens are lots of little things. And you have the answers within card. Now, I'm wondering if all of this busyness, these to-do lists, I just really get a sense that you're running in your day-to-day life, pole number one. And I don't mean going out for a run for health benefits. I mean, like you're kind of dashing from one thing to another and back again, and there just seems to be like almost like if you lost your calendar, or if you lost your appointment book, you'd freak out because it's just so full. You actually have to refer back to it. You have to refer back to those to-do lists because there's just so much on them and you would miss something. And I'm wondering if for some of you that's not self-imposed, because I feel like you're being called to go within, and creative pursuits are really good for that because they let our creativity come forth. We're still doing something, so there is still a sense of doing rather than being, but when it's creative like that, there's a sense of beingness that comes into it as well, especially when you lose track of time, you give yourself to it completely. We access deep parts of ourselves in that creative pursuits. I'm a knitter and I love crocheting as well, and I find I almost get into a meditative state because it's kind of repetitive and there's a pace. I can't go quicker than I go. I don't want to make a mistake, so I take my time. And it kind of engages both parts of your brain, and so there's a sense of well-being that I feel in that, and it calms me and it fulfills me, and I get lost in it. An hour passes by and I feel like it's been 5 minutes. Those pursuits are good when we're being called to go within, because we've just got just enough headspace to feel things. If we run away with our thoughts, we're likely to make a mistake. So we do have to keep our brain focused on what we're doing. But there's also a sense that we've got time to, I want to say, listen to your heart, because you're in a quieter space. And so I feel like I want to say it's thinking, but it's not kind of thinking with your mind. It's almost thinking with your feelings, getting in touch with your feelings, getting in touch with your emotions, getting in touch with, your heart's longings, and, that inner voice that tends to whisper to you a little bit more quietly than what your ego voice tends to speak to you in. And I feel because, you know, you've got the Sun here and you've got the Ten of Swords, and you're moving away from difficult times because you're being guided to more sunshine, more light, more happiness, more joy. And I feel it's by going within. It's by changing, or it's by acknowledging, more to the point, thank you, aspects of yourself that I want to say kind of let you down in your day-to-day life. They keep you running, they keep you being productive, if you like. I wonder if there's whisperings, pole number 1, that I think you've heard. You are drawn to it, but I sense a sense of reluctance to go there, and I'm wondering if that's what this busyness that I sense in you, I wonder if that's where it's coming from. Almost like you're looking out into the world from your peaceful place and saying, I don't have time for that space. I just don't have time. My life is out here and I don't have time for that beautiful space. And I really feel for you, pole number 1. It's going to be important that you embrace that. That you really look within yourself. And I'm really feeling here to ask yourself, what do I want out of life? Because I feel, pole number 1, you either haven't asked yourself that in a very long time, and your priorities have now changed, or you have, and you just can't see how you're going to get there, so you've dismissed it, and now you've gone back to your busy day-to-day life. And then you've got the Nine of Wands and the Sun. And the Nine of Wands is standing your ground. It's been dedicated, it's been committed to something. And I feel, pole number 1, you have been. You've been working hard. You've stood firm even when things got difficult. I feel that you've achieved as well. You know, it's not been for nothing. But with the Sun card here and then with the Ten of Swords, it's almost saying, you know, Spirit's saying to me, yes, you worked hard, you got to where you are, beautiful. Now there's change that's needed. The person that started this journey is no longer you. All the lessons along the way, the accomplishments, the success, the failures, they've all contributed to a different you. You've grown, you've evolved, you're moved past this goal now, but you're still committed to it. You're still working on it. But I feel that Spirit's saying now, if you stay on this path, it's going to cost you more. And what I mean by that is the benefits have already come from this journey. If we stay in a journey too long, then we just keep getting lessons to get us to exit. And I feel that's where the Seven of Swords is. You know, if you don't leave, if you don't change, and I'm not saying, I mean, when I say leave, some of you will be leaving things. Some of you, it's just you changing. So now you need to re-ask yourself, well, what do I want now? because it will be different to where you are now, what you are doing now, what you value now, what you think is important now. If you start asking yourself those questions, pole number 1, you'll actually realize that that has changed a lot. And there's clarity coming if you give it a chance. There's clarity coming, and I feel there's a door opening for you. So all you need to do is just ask yourself those questions, pole number 1. Be willing to move forward. Lose the habits, the way that you've set up your life now. Find pursuits that make you come out of that, so you can see a different way of being and living, and you can actually see how different you are. I feel like this is almost saying, look at you. Like, look in the mirror. And I'm not even saying physically, though some of you might look different physically, but you're so different. And there's a whole new, and the sun is a beautiful card. It's a whole new journey out there waiting for you. And the sun's guiding you. There's no, the only doubts, I don't feel that there's no clarity here. I feel that there's an unwillingness. I'm sorry to say, pole number 1, I feel a reluctance. But there's a door opening. Leave the 10 of Swords. The journey, the lessons, the difficulties, the pain, they were all lessons that got you to be different, got you to change. You've evolved, you've grown. And when you look within yourself, you'll see that you're not the same person. And I feel this is Spirit saying, evolve to the next journey, pole number 1. It's time to move forward, my friends, and embrace this new you. I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 1. Love and light, my friends. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 2. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. We have reliable. We have allow. We have Parrot Spirit. We have the High Priestess. We have the 4 of Cups. And we have the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. I love this Ace of Cups. I think it's so beautiful. Okay, pole number 2. Let's see. Your first card is allow, and it says, allow yourself your feelings. Resist others' pressure to laugh when you feel like crying, or to be social when you need to be alone. I think that ties in really beautifully with this. I'm going to read them together, actually, I think. You've got reliable. And I really feel there's a sense here of you try to be reliable for others. You know, if you say you're going to do something, you do it for others. But do you do it for yourself, pole number 2? Do you allow yourself to be you? Do you ask for what you need? Because this reliable card, for me, if you look at I love the image on this card. It's probably one of my favorites. She's traveling downstream with her eyes closed. She has an owl on her shoulder, which signifies wisdom. She's playing the harp, which is really, to me, it signifies tranquility and calm. And she knows that she can rely on herself, but she knows she can rely on spirit, she can rely on God, she can rely on the universe. She's not in it all on her own. I find this reliable card, it really always calls out to me as like being in the flow. And being able to rely on yourself when you need to be alone. Are you reliable to that need that you have? And I'm saying, you know, we're often, you know, we're reliable for others, you know, oh, I'll be there at 10 o'clock. Well, if you're reliable, you'll be there at 10 o'clock. But we don't often turn that back onto ourselves, do we? We don't often fulfill the promises that we make ourselves. And there's a real sense here that you need time out. There's a real sense that this week is going to be one where you need to calm everybody else's chatter. You need to sort of almost leave them at the door. You need to calm your chatter, and you just need to find peace. How peaceful is this card? Yeah, there's candles, there's music flowing gently downstream. Giving to ourselves, being able to rely on ourselves to fulfill the needs that we have regardless of what they are, is a real sign of wisdom. That's why the owl's here. It's almost like wisdom whispering in her ear, guiding her, and she's allowing it. I feel, pole number 2, I really feel drawn to say the world's gotten too loud for you. And we need to acknowledge that when it happens. We need to be able to step back. Yes, we've got our commitments and we need to fulfill those, absolutely. But sometimes we need to put ourselves first. And this is the week, pole number 2. You need to allow yourself some space. You need to allow yourself, you know, it says allow yourself your feelings. And the Ace of Cups is here. That's a gift from the universe, which is the cup of fulfillment. Now we know what fulfills us by our emotions, by our feelings. You know, they drive us to understand the more hidden aspects of ourselves here with the High Priestess. But your environment, your thoughts, your world, pole number 2, is just too noisy at the moment. I almost get this sense because the parrots are so colourful, they're so loud and they're vibrant, aren't they? And sometimes they're always beautiful, and there's, you know, there's joy in them, there's flamboyance, and, you know, it's exciting, and they make you laugh. But for you this week, the parrot is, you just have to walk away. You have to walk away from the dramas, the noise, the chatter, the opinions, and not only of others, but especially of others. But in stepping away from the noise of the world, you're actually going to notice your own noise, pole number 2, and then you'll be able to step away from that. But I feel it's too much. And we get those moments, don't we, pole number 2, where life kind of gets on top of us and it really just becomes too much. And that's not a sign of weakness. That's not a sign of you've done the wrong thing or you're on the wrong path. It's just a sign that you need a moment. You need to find the quiet. It's not always easy when we have family and jobs and, you know, all of life, everything that makes us up, everything that makes up life. It's not always easy to find quiet time. But for you, pole number 2, this week coming, or for whenever you stumble across this message, the week ahead, if you can take some time off, if you can take some time out, it will benefit you hugely. Because you've got cups and their emotions. And the High Priestess is all that is unseen. You know, it's the inner aspect of you. And you're being drawn, you're being called to look at your feelings, to go within and see, you know, what are those, you know, in those quiet moments, what are the thoughts that come to you? There's something new here. The aces are a gift from the universe. We have to take them, we have to do something with them. But they generally lead us in a new direction or on a new journey. And I feel that there's just too much noise around you, pole number 2, that I'm getting the feeling that you're just not going to see what the worth of this, or like all that it's worth. You're just probably going to see it maybe as another thing that, oh, now I have to think about this, I have to worry about this now. You're not going to see the magic in it. So you have the High Priestess and the 4 of Cups. And I'm kind of feeling like, look, the Ace of Cups again. I get the feeling that if you don't take this time, it's really just, you're going to see the offer, you're going to see the opportunity, but I don't think you're going to see the potential in it. I don't think you're going to see it for the gift that it is. You know, there's too much noise elsewhere. There's too many things drawing your attention away from this new potential. And I'm also getting from the 4 of Cups as well is that, and the 4 of Cups can signify, you know, meditating. And I kind of feel that if you can meditate, just find those quiet moments and really look at everything in your life. It's basically what you're being asked to do is look at where you are in your life, look at your feelings. That we often dismiss our feelings. We often don't want to be emotional. We don't want to show our emotions. We don't even want to have emotions or feelings, but they guide us. They guide us to let us know how, not how we think of a situation, but how we feel about a situation. And our feelings are more linked with our intuition. And I feel if you can find time to just sit quietly, you will actually see the worth in this. You'll see this is, I want to say this is just noise. And this is background noise. That's not going to come to anything. It looks like a lot, but it's just backfill, if you like. It's of no value, is what I'm trying to say. And you'll really see what is of value. And I do believe, pole number 2, there will probably be a tweak in your course, a change of course, or a complete new beginning, just depending on where you are on your journey. And the High Priestess, she's comfortable with all that is unseen, like emotions and, your soul, diving deep inside of you. She's also, the Justice card is more about the balance, but I also see her, standing in between the pillars, balancing our light and our dark side, the clarity and what we can't see, our courage and our fears. I often get a sense of polarity with her, but she's in balance of it. Not because she controls it, but because she truly understands it. She understands that every aspect of herself make up who she is, who he is. It doesn't matter what you're male or female, it makes no difference. And it's when we are that comfortable with ourselves that we don't put ourselves second. We don't put our needs second. We don't pretend to be one way when we feel a complete other way. We don't pretend, we don't wear masks. We can count on ourselves. We know, I trust myself to know when I'm tired and I'm run down, I'm going to slow down. I'm not going to get mad at myself and make myself work harder. I'm going to acknowledge how I feel and I'm going to slow down. Today I need an hour by myself. I trust myself to try to find that. If it ends up being 35 minutes, doesn't matter, you tried. You put yourself first. And that doesn't mean that you were selfish. That doesn't mean that you let others down. It just means that you're not always the last one that you serve, if you like. It's no longer, when you're in this energy, you're no longer, I'll look after me once this, that's done. And then if there's time, then I'll look at what I need. Because we fill our days, and if we don't make time, there's never any time in our day. We just always constantly fill it. So there comes a time where we need to put ourselves first. We need to say, okay, I have given, this is all I need today. And we try to find it. Aim high, pole number 2. Like I said, ask for an hour. If you get half an hour, you still made an effort for you. And that's the beauty of it, is make that effort for you. Don't be all things to all people. And in order to do that, you have to wear masks. You kind of set out, and you've got gritted teeth because it just takes so much effort. I'm not saying that you don't want to help people or that you're doing it begrudgingly. That's not the energy at all. I just feel the energy is one where you're tired. The world's too loud, too noisy. It's impacting you too much. And so you're there still trying. And when we get tired, we grit our teeth to just keep going and try to find that determination. And Spirit's saying that just don't, pole number 2. This beautiful Ace of Cups is worth discovering. It's worth seeing. it's worth taking. Look, at it's been offered to you. And the cups are fulfillment. You know, they fulfilling on it's things like a journey in our life that fulfills us. The card says a beautiful new emotional experience, a romantic relationship or deep friendship, awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual insights, a love letter, a new home. I don't really see love in your reading, pole number 2, except for the love that you need to show yourself. You deserve it, my friends. We all deserve to love, nurture, and look after ourselves. I'm going to leave you with those messages. Love and light, my friends. Have a wonderful week, and please take some time for you. Take some time to exit all the noise of the world. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 3. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. We have strength. Beautiful. We have affirm. We have fox spirit. We have the Page of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and we have the Four of Swords. Beautiful. King of Pentacles has been coming out a lot. Not in this week's reading, but in reading. So I'm not sure if you're always getting the readings with the King of Pentacles in it. That'll be interesting to see. Okay, pole number 3. Your first card is Affirm, and it says, make the choices that best provide what you need and most deeply affirm who you are. Very interesting, because we've all the previous piles, so 1 and 2, have gotten the same message about putting yourself first, looking after you. And I feel that you're no different, pole number 3. So if you're drawn to 1 or 2, please go and have a look, because the messages I think are going to be quite different, but still in the same keeping. So they might actually give you a bigger picture. And I think we're being asked that at the moment, pole number 3, to affirm who we are. Not so much to others, but to ourselves. Who are you now? Are you the same person you were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 18 months ago? Because we've done a lot of changing. We were asked to do a lot of changing. And sometimes those changes, sometimes they manifest in our outside world first and then within us. And sometimes it happens within us, so we don't feel that a lot of things have changed, but we have changed so profoundly. And this is a sense of knowing who you are now, pole number 3. Making choices not from a place of habit or what you used to do, what you used to believe, the dreams you used to have, but asking yourself the questions of, okay, what are they now? Are they still the same? Have they changed? What do I believe now? Do I still believe the same things I believed 12 months ago? Or do I find that that's really changed now? Because it sounds silly when we say it out loud, but it's so easy to do. When we have big, powerful change in our life, you know, relationships ending, you know, big moves, loss of jobs, you know, these big things that happen, we change and we can feel it. We can see it, we can feel it, others can see it. But sometimes there's just these lots of little things that have caused us to change, and over such a long period of time and slowly, that we almost don't we don't really realize it, we don't really acknowledge it. And so we can still be dragging our old habits, our old beliefs, our old dreams with us when they no longer fit. So they don't propel us forward, they don't move us forward. It's just something we're dragging behind us. So there's a real aspect of looking at how you've changed, pole number 3. You know, this affirming who you are. I think that's so beautifully said. And then making sure that your choices then affirm who you are. They meet who you are now. They meet the needs and the desires of who you are now, not the old you that's not here anymore. It's a beautiful message. These are new cards for me, and I really feel they're very beautiful. Actually, the deck's called Be Good to Yourself. I'm not sure if they're just available in Australia, but Be Good to Yourself. It's a beautiful card, beautiful messages. And then you have Fox Spirit, Think on Your Feet. Now, this kind of gives me a feeling of quickness. You know, when you think on your feet, it's kind of like, you know, something happens and boom, you're on it. You know, it's kind of that kind of quick energy. And the fox, they're cunning. Now, you can view that in a negative sense, and sometimes the fox spirit does show me that, but in your reading, I'm not seeing it as like sly and cunning in a detrimental way. I'm kind of almost seeing it like you just see things for what they are. This is when we know ourselves, when we know our values, when we know what drives us, when we know what we want to achieve, when we understand both our shortcomings and our what's the word I'm looking for? Oh gosh, I can't remember. Isn't that terrible? I can think of the negative and I can't think of the positive. You know, all the good parts about us, all the positives and negatives about us, all the you know what I mean, pole number 3, hopefully. When we know all aspects of ourselves, not just the good, not just the bad, we really see how we operate. Decisions are not hard to make because we know where we want to go. Does it take us there? No, then let's say no. We know what we want to achieve. Like if you want to go on an adventure and every time something new comes up you say no, that's not in keeping with what you have decided to do. An adventure is saying yes to all the unknowns, isn't it? And it's that kind of thinking on your feet. I'm wondering if you're going to get opportunities, or you're going to get maybe even situations in your life where, actually this is a good message, thank you Spirit. You're going to get situations in your life where your reaction is spontaneous. Your reply just comes straight out without you thinking about it. And I'm wondering if that's what's going to show you how much you've changed, because somebody's going to ask you something and you're just going to reply. And then I get the feeling that it's going to surprise them and it's going to surprise you, and you're both going to stand there going, oh. But I feel that it's going to surprise you, because I feel like it's showing you how much you've changed. And you've got the Strength card, pole number 3. And I always find that when I get the Strength card in Tarot, when I get it in Oracle cards, I always feel that we're required to step up to who we are now. You know, It's so easy to stay in our habits. It's so easy, you know the old you very well. And you know what works and doesn't work for the old you. And when you're tired, or when you think, oh, I don't want to do this, it's so easy to go back to our old patterns, to go back to our old habits, to even try to go back to our old lives. I feel that sometimes that's why we go back to past relationships and things like that. It's not because we feel a great calling to, it's just that we've reverted back to that old comfort zone. And it takes strength to go, hang on a minute, no, I'm not that person. I'm not going to say yes to that, because I don't find any joy in that. I don't believe in that anymore. You know, and that sometimes it can be the people we surround ourselves with, you know, they just don't fit anymore. And it takes strength. It takes strength to go, hang on a minute. Actually, no, that's not me anymore. You know, we find ourselves saying things that we used to say. And then we kind of feel like, oh, you know, it feels, once it's out, it feels wrong. It feels a bit icky or awkward. And that's because it just doesn't fit us. It's almost like now we're pretending to try to be somebody else. And I'm also feeling that you have the strength inside of you, pole number 3, to do this. I want to say easily, and I can. It's not that it will be easy, but I just feel like you're just going to get so many opportunities to see how much you've changed. And I feel you like how you've changed. Maybe others haven't caught on yet, but if you are truly honest with yourself, you like this new you. You like this you with greater wisdom, with greater kindness or compassion, this you that is calmer, more serene, less reactive. You like, and for those of you that haven't quite delved in to see exactly who you have become, when you do, you're going to acknowledge the shadow part of yourself. You know, the things that you, in the past, you would have went, oh, no, I'm not that. Now you'll just acknowledge them and go, yes, they make up part of me. I'm aware of them. I know they're there and they're okay. It's okay. You see, when you do that deep dive like that, you really see your worth inside of you. And I really feel that's what the fox spirit is here. It's just these quick replies, these innocent questions that people are going to ask you with no ulterior motive whatsoever, and suddenly you're going to be going, oh. And you've got the Page of Cups and the King of Pentacles. And, you know, I'm really sensing that, you know, they're kind of, both bodies are kind of facing us, but their heads are turned away from each other. And I feel the King of Pentacles in your reading is your older you. It's the way you used to do things. And they're not bad. They're not bad, pole number 3. They've, you know, it's a king. It's accomplished. You know, your past lessons, your past journeys have gotten you to where you are now. So they're to be blessed and acknowledged and thanked. But this isn't who you are anymore. You're the Page of Cups. So there is a sense of newness. There's, okay, well, I've changed so much. Now I have to get to know myself again. The king knows himself really well. He's had all the lessons. He's gotten to where he got because he understands. The pages are just new. They're experimenting. They're learning. They're striving to understand. They know that they don't know it all. Whereas in this energy of the king, not in an arrogant way, but he knows what he knows, and he knows it. There's new freshness. This fish in the page, so this is basically the Page of Cups has accepted the ace, the gift from the universe. He's accepted it. Will it be easy? No, the waves is showing emotion, so it's a bit wobbly. When we learn new things, we're a bit wobbly. We get things wrong sometimes, and there'll be elements of surprise, but in a good way. Pole number 3, in a fulfilling way. The Ace of Cups is a gift of fulfillment on some level. Apply that how it fits in your life, pole number 3. But you want to embrace this energy of not knowing and being okay with that. Allow yourself to be surprised. And step away from this King of Pentacles it's just the old you. There's nothing wrong with this. But if you stay in this energy, you won't move forward. And you've got the Four of Swords, and the card says, insights that come from meditation, the need to rest or take a vacation, allow yourself more time before making a decision, mental exhaustion, get some sleep. Get more sleep. I love the stained glass window. I almost feel that that's like the universe. That's your soul shining through. In this place, pole number 3, you take off your armor. You take off your masks. This is taking off. Almost see this as we are organic beings. And the old kind of turns to stone. And we need to take it off. Because if not, it makes us stuck. It's heavy, it's a burden. Take off the armor, let go of this old you. And I'm not saying that all of you will have, like every aspect of yourself will have changed, but it's really understanding who you are now. And in quiet moments, you'll get that clarity, but I also feel that you'll get it when talking to others. There'll just be this, oh, okay, almost like, oh, I can't believe I just said that. And then I think you'll say to yourself, is that true? Oh, where did that come from? Is that what I want? Is that what I'm thinking now? And I think it's going to put you in this meditative state. It's going to put you in this state of maybe even needing a bit more time on your own, so you can really think things through. Give yourself time to say, okay, I said this to that person. Now, what do I think of that? I'm also being drawn to say, pole number 3, pay attention to your dreams. I think some of you, our dreams are all mixed up, so sometimes it's hard to translate them to the real world, but I feel that in some of your dreams, you're actually going to be embracing a character that is more in line with who you are now. And that'll give you insight. You're definitely getting insight. The fox is clever. The fox sees situations very quickly and can act on them. And I think that's the clarity you're getting. I think that's the insight. You're just gonna see it. And there'll be a few surprises, which I think is beautiful. I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 3. Love and light, my friends. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 4. Thank you for joining me. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you. Sincere relationships. Beautiful. We have choose. We have Turkey Spirit. Give with grace, with gratitude and grace. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Wow, the 10 of Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Swords. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this is glorious. This is what you have been tirelessly working towards is literally coming. It's literally just around the corner. It's like on your doorstep, and this is success, this is achievement, this is money, this is acknowledgement. And it's a 10, so it's the end of the journey, and then you're going to get this wonderful Ace of Swords, which is like a whole new idea that sets you off on a whole new journey. The tarot in a nutshell, pole number 4. Let's see how it plays out. But that's my first, the minute I saw that, that's the first download I got. Beautiful. Pole number 4, your first card is choose. Choose relationships that allow for the fullest expression of your interests, your feelings, and yourself. Build on those that nourish you and let go of those that deplete you. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm wondering if that's how this new idea is going to come to you. And you've got sincere relationship card as well. Relationships make up such a big part of our life. And you know, when we really look into it, like if ever you have a quiet moment, look at relationships and your own relationships, or the relationships that people have that are around you. And it's amazing how we accept relationships that don't fit us. We stay in relationships way past their due date. We'd rather be in a bad relationship than in a relationship with just ourselves. Relationships are big, and relationships are everywhere. You know, that's the minute we interact with another human being, we're in a relationship. Some of them are just with a stranger, spur of a moment, but that's still a relationship. There's still been interaction. There's still been, you don't know how what you say as an afterthought to somebody might impact their life. You know, it's that butterfly effect, that ripple that gets sent out. You know, we often look at long-term or important relationships, and we discard all the others. But I remember reading I'm not going to quote it exactly correctly, so I do apologize, but they basically said the stranger around the corner could be your next best friend, could be your soulmate, could be your next boss, you know. And I really feel that's a message coming through from Spirit really strongly. It's not really maybe the message I would get from this card if it stand alone, but there's something that Spirit really wants to get to you, pole number 4, is that those people that you think nothing of, and not in a bad way, not that you couldn't care less about them, but that you meet once and you'll probably never see them again. There's something in that. Maybe somebody is going to say something to you, and that's where the brilliant idea is going to come from, and not somebody in your circle of friends or your family or your partner, or it could be somebody that you don't know, or you know, somebody that comes in, if you're a salesperson, that comes into the shop and you just get talking and then they buy something and they're gone, but there's something that they say. I'm getting that kind of feeling for some of you, maybe not all of you. But there is something here about sincere relationships, choosing our relationships wisely. And also looking at how they deplete us when they're not. Generally, I find they deplete us when they weren't right to begin with, or because it's time to release them. There's definitely going to be some new connections, and for all of you that'll be in different ways, but I really feel that this is whatever you've been working on, pole number 4, it's going to benefit many people, not just you. It'll either benefit your family and your relations, like your relatives. It'll benefit like all your work environment, and spill out onto your family, but a wider community, a neighborhood. There's a sense of, because of this relationship is so prominent in this reading, I feel, and the 10 of Pentacles is also leaving a legacy, leaving inheritance for others. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be in money for all of you, though for some of you it definitely will be. But there's a sense of this accomplishment is going to, it's not just benefiting you, it's benefiting a wider range. And I'm wondering if somebody says something to you and this new idea allows you to move it even further out. So it helps more and more people, because you've got the turkey spirit and it says give with gratitude and grace. And in your reading, I really feel that you're giving. And this is coming from a place because I've got enough. You've got enough, pole number 4. You've got enough wisdom. You've got enough finances. You've got enough time. You've got enough, a skill of some sort, a talent. And you can give with ease because you've got it. You know, you're not giving and depleting yourself in the same, you know, you're giving with one hand and taking from yourself with the other, and then you're leaving yourself depleted. It's not like that at all. You're giving with love and gratitude and grace and blessing. You know, you're happy to give because you've got it to give. I just got a download saying, with your relationships, maybe you're in such a good place of giving. Maybe you need to be a little bit aware of who's taking. I just got a sense for some of you where this could be money or resources of some sort. I just feel, make sure that, you know, there's sincere relationships or people that sincerely need your help. Again, not a message for all of you, maybe just somebody out there, but a message that needed to come forth. Now this card of sincere relationships, this is soul connection in relationships. So this is your soul tribe, your soul family, your soul friends, your soul partner. And these relationships. Now, I'm going to differentiate between a soul relationship and a karmic one. Sometimes we use each term interchangeably, but here I'm going to separate them. This is not a karmic relationship. Karmic relationships can deplete you because they're there to teach you something. This is sincere as a soul connection that actually fuels you. It assists you. It helps you. It doesn't mean that they last forever. They still allow you to grow and to change, but they tend to be less volatile. There tends to be a real connection, a real understanding of what the other person needs. So they're more fulfilling. They're more nourishing, like the card says here. And I feel that you're either going to realize how sincere the relationships are around you, pole number 4. You're going to come into contact with people that are really going to be your soul family, your soul tribe. You might be letting go of relationships because you are realizing that, you know what, they've passed their due by date, and now they're draining both of us. We can't give to each other anymore because it's the path is finished. But relationships form a big part of this. And I think it's because of this energy. I'm still getting exactly the same energy that I got at the very, very beginning when I first put the cards down. You have been working diligently, and I feel that these soul connections, pole number 4, are coming through your work or because of your work. Now, this could be a job, this can be a business, this can be, it can even be a hobby that you really love doing, but something that you've been doing regularly, something that you're really methodical about, you've been really driven to do. And for some of you, it was making money. Though I don't get the feeling for all of you, for the majority of you, I feel that the Pentacles are here just saying that's how much work you've done. Because I feel the 10 of Pentacles is more saying, here's your reward. Here's your payment for all this hard work. And you get more than what all the work was. You know, there's more reward in there. And you weren't doing it for the reward, pole number 4. And that's the beauty of it. You were happy to give. And I feel the universe is balancing things out for you again. It's bringing you the people that you need. It's bringing you the people that support you so you can keep going. You can, because this Ace of Swords, I'm not sure, because I did say earlier, you know, this is a completion and then this is a start. But I'm getting the sense that almost like this new idea, I'm really seeing this as a new idea, a new inspiration. I feel that it's actually going to make this grow and move forward. So, for instance, let's say you have a little kiosk and you sell your cakes and homemade coffee from the kiosk. This is an idea, resources coming in that now enable you to grow and move into proper premises where you can have a cafe where people can come and actually sit at your premises. And these are the people coming in. So that can be a new loving romantic relationship that comes in, and they have the idea, well, look, if we pool our resources, we can do this. I can go in it with you. Or it can be a business partner. It can be just your soul tribe that even give you the idea. It's not necessarily saying they're going to bring the money, though some of them might. But it's that kind of growth. It's going to grow on top of what you've been doing. So it's not, I mean, you know, it is the end as in, you know, if we go back to my previous story, it's the end in the sense that you will leave your kiosk, you know, and you'll shut that down or sell it or whatever happens, and then you'll move forward. So there is an ending of some sort, but it's still moving you in the same direction. It's the same theme, if you like. And that's really what I'm getting from your reading. And it comes to you through relationships. This is a beautiful reading, pole number 4. The Ace of Swords card says, brilliant ideas that may need refinement. overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out. Communicate clearly and concisely. Remain objective. Remain objective. And I love the little butterfly on his jacket. And I just got, this will make you fly. And this is taking you higher. It's taking you to the next step. It's taking you further. I just got the message, just going back to the story of the little kiosk, and Spirit was saying to me, you might actually be working from home and you might have the vision of having a kiosk. And these people come in, this idea comes in, and you go from working from home direct to your cafe. So for some of you, this is that you haven't even dreamed big enough. You're working I'm not going to be able to say it now. I get so tongue-tied sometimes. Diligently, and you've got your focus set on something, but the universe is bringing you so much more, and it comes through connections with others. It comes through talking to others. It can even come through, like I said at the very beginning, just talking to a stranger and they just say something and it just makes you go, oh, again, back to our little story. They might say to you, oh, did you know that so-and-so in this shopping mall has gone broke and they're desperately looking for somebody to rent the premises and they want to keep it as a cafe. Maybe you could get a really good deal. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, though. Maybe I keep sticking with the same story, so maybe there's one of you out there. Good luck. I hope beautiful things ahead of you, but it's just an example to show you what I'm trying to say, but you're definitely moving forward. And trust yourself to know whether the relationships are sincere. The card says, choose relationships that allow for the fullest expression of your interests, your feelings, and yourself. Build on those that nourish you and let go of those that deplete you. And move forward in your dreams, pole number 4. Move forward. You will be moving forward. Oh, my friends, beautiful, beautiful reading. I wish you all the best and all the luck, and keep your eye open for this new idea, this new vision. Really listen to what those around you are saying, because there's real wisdom and guidance coming from the people around you. Love and light, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.